Hey friends, Mike and Jess here.
And welcome to Regeneration Nation TV. We are reacting to the Ricky Gervais Show. This is Season 1, Episode 1, Space Monkey.
You guys asked for it, so we have supplied the goods.
Yeah.
All right. We just got done watching Meet Karl Pilkington.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was hilarious. If it's already up on the channel, we'll include links for that down below. Our first introduction to both, well, we already knew of Ricky, but we learned to speak English with Ricky Gervais and Karl Pilkington. That's hilarious. Go and check that out down in the pinned comment as well. We've got links for this original video. It's just uploaded from some random person's channel, so we'll still include links down below though. Random person, that was rude. I just can't pronounce their name.
Tianshu Lee is what I would say.
Tianshu Lee. I apologize, Tianshu. We'll include links for this down below. Thank you for putting this together for us. You are no longer a random person. I apologize. Okay, we're good?
You
we're
fixed
square?
it. You fixed it.
Okay. Oh, it's HBO.
Oh, it's about to go down then.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Karl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Okay.
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant. Hello. And the little round-headed buffoon that is Karl Pilkington.
All right.
What the heck? Okay, I didn't know that. So he joked about Stephen Merchant in the last one, but I didn't know he was going to be on this.
Yeah.
I've seen him in a few things, man. I've seen him in a few things. I think he was in the most recent thing I saw was Logan. Anyways.
It's like in the style of Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, he
Now,
looks like Fred Flintstone.
you probably know me from such works as The Office and Extras. Stephen being my co-writer and co-director on those things. For those people who are not so aware of Karl Pilkington, he was our producer, sort of given to us when we first started on XFM. And you're thinking, well, why are we doing a podcast? It's because I like to be in a room with Karl Pilkington. You know, like some people go and help sort of chimps.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, they go to the jungles and things.
And help out little sort of endangered
Diane
species.
Fossey or whatever.
Exactly.
You're very much the Diane Fossey of the Manchester scene.
Of the little bald mank world. And Karl Pilkington is an ongoing experiment for me because I've seen him blossom from an idiot into an imbecile. And I want to see it through. Look at the way he's looking at us. Look at that. He's got a perfectly round head. And that's why I'm doing this podcast. Karl, what do you think about all this?
It's just, I mean, we are living in that sort of era now, aren't we? That you need to be able to listen to stuff on demand when you want it and stuff.
I know you're not a fan of the iPod in general, are you? Or any of the MP3 things? You're concerned?
I'm warming to it, but
This is what's amazing about Karl. Even though he's talking about things like MP3 players, computers, iPods, he sounds like he was found in a glacier and thawed out. Do you know what I mean? He's sort of taught to speak.
We're a couple of high school guys who found him, and we're trying to ingratiate him in the gang, trying to pass him off as someone from the modern day.
I literally said that last
Encino
thing.
Man.
I was like, dude, he's like, you dug him up, and you're like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? It's so funny. It's so interesting to hear what he has to say about things. He doesn't seem like he's real, like he's from this time period.
We're trying to ingratiate him in the gang, trying to pass him off as someone from the modern day.
But my thing with iPods is, now, do we need them? Do you know what I mean? We're living in that era now where we have invented most of the stuff that we need, and now we're just messing about.
They said that in 1900. Someone actually said everything that's to be invented has already been invented. They said that in 1900. And how wrong were they?
No, but what came out? At what point? What was invented in that year where they went, right, that's it now?
The 20th century. Think what happened in the 20th century.
Go on.
Well,
Go on.
planes.
Yeah, but is that a good thing? Planes and that. Do you need a plane, really? Wouldn't it have been better if we all stuck where we should be instead of travelling about? War. Well, look, war's happening, isn't it? Because everyone's saying, well, now we can fly, we'll go over there.
So there were no wars prior to the invention of the aeroplane?
Not like there is today.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, the world's got smaller, hasn't it? Everyone's saying that, right? Yeah. The way I was saying to you the other day, we now go to places where we shouldn't go. People go on holiday to places where you've got to have an injection before you go there.
Yeah.
Forget it then. That's a warning. Don't worry.
I'm with you on that. I don't want to enter a country where I have to have an injection to stop me from dying while I'm in that country.
Right,
I totally agree with you on that.
So what happened is, they invented the plane, and it's like, oh, let's go on holiday, and then they go, oh, I die now. Oh, well, you've got to invent something. Let's invent an injection, and then it's like, right, well, what else do we need to go to that place? There's a lot of faffing. So what I'm saying is,
is that a place? A lot of faffing.
What I'm saying is, Steve's travelled more than I have. You've been to like dangerous places.
I've been to places where you need injections, yeah.
Yeah, but why?
Because it's fascinating, isn't it? Don't you not believe in that idea of travel broadens the mind? It makes you experience other ways of life, other ways of thinking. It just enriches you as a human being. That's the whole reason people go travelling.
But since the invention of the telly, you don't have to go that far to see it.
You're absolutely right.
So there you go then. The telly was the 20th century, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So where would you stop then? You'd stop making stuff now? Stop inventing stuff right now?
If we're going to invent something, right, forget like the traditional way of people having kids, right? The way they, have it away in that. What
do you mean? What do you mean?
No, like the way that, we have kids and stuff. If it'd be good if what happened was to control it is if man and woman, right, they're born and that, they enjoy their life, they learn a lot, they live to be about 78, I think, by that point.
So specific.
Yeah, 78,
No,
yeah.
But by 78, I reckon you've sort of got to that point where you go, do you know what, I've done everything I'm going to do. If you haven't bungee jumped by the time you're 78, you're not going to do it. No. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like...
Your hips come off.
You've done it all now.
Yeah.
And then you die, right? So say if everyone had that, they live to be 78. But then, just as you die, you have a little baby inside you. And as you die, your life carries on.
Sorry,
how is this happening?
Sorry, are you mental?
No, but don't you think...
I've never heard such drivel.
You're saying that, but if Newton said it, you'd go, interesting. That's what
Dude, he says the most outlandish things ever, and he buys them like... Oh, man, I like the animated style and everything for a lot of the scenes to depict what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But I kind of do wish I could see their faces during, like, just these moments
right there, yeah.
Oh, man.
You're saying that, but if Newton said it, you'd go, interesting. That's what annoys me.
The point is, Karl, he never would. He'd never say it, that's the point.
But if you never say it,
I don't understand what you're talking about there. How was it? How is there a little baby in a 78-year-old?
No, what I'm saying is it's like an apple, where... The apple grows and it's got its little baby pips in it, and the apple goes and the seeds are planted and a new one's born.
But that's what happens.
But that is what reproduction is.
Yeah, but I'm saying babies aren't being born left, right, and centre. It's controlled, so that as someone dies, someone's born.
But Karl, stop. Whose responsibility is this?
If you don't want to do it, we won't do it. But I'm just
supposed to
That's
be
already
nature's
happening,
nature got
though.
to develop
People die
humans
all
so
the
that we
time,
act
and people are born all the time. So it is a give and take. I feel like I don't know what the numbers are,
but they are gonna have a really good rebuttal to this. Like, who takes care of that baby?
Yeah,
when it
right.
pops
Where's
out
the
of...
baby gonna go?
want to do it, we won't do it. But
is it supposed to be nature? Has nature got to develop humans so that we act that way? We live that way, or is this a scientific experiment?
He said to you then. He said, "Look, if you don't want to do it, we don't need to do it. Like if you were up for it, we'll sort it out. We can do that.
We'll have a whip round so we can do the research."
I just think at the end of the day we've got to do something. And is anyone keeping an eye on this and looking at what we can do next to control the population thing? It does my head in that I've got to live in London for work and what have you, and there's loads of people here, and forget going out on a Saturday night, it's too busy, and you can't move, and they keep... I mean, what annoys me about London
So your solution is that 78-year-old women have little babies inside them, and as they slip away into death, the little babies... And how is that baby then raised?
Who looks after the baby? Because it's a pretty good system having a baby while you're young enough to look after that baby and make sure
Yes.
it lives to, reproductive age itself.
I mean, that system's been working for years.
Nature's sort of sorted it out. Natural selection and evolution sort of makes that a good model.
But wait a minute, nature. Pop that on hold, because Karl Pilkington's got an idea.
Yeah.
That's what it was, just an idea.
Yeah, well, it was nonsense. But thank you for it.
The worst I mean, it was the ramblings of someone you'd find by themselves in a hospital eating flies.
This is the sort of thing you find when, if they find maybe a pamphlet or a booklet written by a psychopath. Just before they went on a rampage and then turned the gun on themselves, they go through their possessions and they find a book and it's got weird drawings, women with knives in their face, and this kind of garbage.
In fact, I saw a similar sort of theory written out on a wall.
I don't like the way they have this set up. It's like they both have papers in front of them with 2 coffee cups in this picture. And then it's like Kyle is a little bit... Karl. Why did I just call him Kyle? That was so weird. Anyway, Karl. They have Karl just over to the side. Like he's separated on purpose. And he's got this sad face.
I think the entire show is 2, like, highly intellectual people asking this guy questions who is considered, like, not that intellectual, but he's hilarious. His answers are hilarious, and they know they're going to be hilarious.
It's making me feel bad
So then he
for
says
him.
something really silly, and then they pick it apart, and then they ask him another question. And I think that's going to, I don't know. That's the premise of this
it seems
8
like
minutes
the
so far
theme.
that we're in. They're just roasting
They
him.
are. Poor
Face, and this kind of garbage.
In fact, I saw a similar sort of theory written out on a wall, but it was written in shit.
Exactly.
Gosh.
No, all I'm saying is, I think it's, when people die normally, everyone's fed up about it, aren't they, and a bit down. But if when you pass away, you go, oh, we're gonna miss Gladys or whatever. But then there's this new life brought in. It's almost like a bad news, good
But
news.
you're talking about it like someone could pick this idea up and run with it. Like you've given them enough information to do it. How is this possible? Where does she get the baby from? Why does it grow? Why grow it in Gladys's belly? Why not have it in a drawer?
But what I'm saying is,
ready to go, just add water. I mean...
Who looks after son of Gladys?
There is no theory here. There's no... It's the ramblings of a madman.
what I'm saying is, though, the body's always changing, innit? From caveman to now, or whatever.
In
It's
some
changing.
cases.
And they're always finding out more and more. Like I read the other day about how they're saying, do you know, like they say people have 6 senses?
Yeah.
There's loads more than that.
There's loads more than that.
Right, and there's this one.
I say, show me that you've got one.
No, right, and there's this one that's knocking about.
Go on.
That what it is. Say if I'm in a pub, right, and I'm just doing a crossword or whatever.
Unlikely, but go on.
And there's some woman who's walked in, right, and she's staring at me.
Yeah.
I know she's looking at me, and I look up and I look round, she's looking at me.
Right.
And they're saying that's a new sense that they found out from, like, doing tests and what have you.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
And they're saying
okay.
that's been around since like man and dinosaur was knocking about.
They've stopped.
No, they've
pursuing-
explained
I
it.
think it's safe to assume that, that with your perfectly round head, people are always stopping and
No,
looking.
but they explained
You
it.
just know that there's probably going to be someone there if you look
They
right.
said it's from the time when, like, caveman was, like, wandering about, and he'd go, hang on a minute, and he'd look round, there's a dinosaur there or whatever, and he'd leg it.
This is nonsense. One.
not.
I hate it when people use the term when caveman was wandering around. Caveman and dinosaurs. Oh, they used to live together. Yeah. Oh, that's the same era. Yeah. What have you been watching? Raquel Welch.
What do you mean?
Well, what do you mean caveman wandering, knocking around with a dinosaur?
You know the Flintstones is only partly based on fact. Dinosaurs and man did not coexist. The dinosaurs had long gone before man arrived. Extinct. Kaput. You don't believe us?
What, you don't believe because you've seen...
Because you saw that film where they took pictures of lizards and magnified them and put them next to men in films so they looked like they were fighting.
No, but why couldn't that have happened?
What is the film with Raquel Welch? A Million Years
10
BC.
A million years BC or
A
something.
Million Years BC. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
She had a sort of
my
woolly
gosh.
mammoth bikini. Fact.
why wasn't the dinosaurs back then just like how we have dogs now, in a way?
He's watching the Flintstones.
He's watching the Flintstones.
He's thinking of the Flintstones. That's what he's
When he
thinking.
gets out of the saber-toothed tiger
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Dido
And he
when
mixes
in.
his concrete in a pelican.
I just think that there must have been a crossover point.
Why? Why did you say that? Why do you think there must have been?
There must have been.
Because if nothing was knocking about at any point, how did anything carry on?
I know. Exactly. Why didn't Hitler meet Nero? It's weird, isn't it? There must have been a crossover. They must have met somewhere. They must have met at a party somewhere.
They mixed in similar circles.
Yeah. They must have bumped into... I can't believe it.
Forget it.
Forget it.
He said
Well,
I give up.
Now time for one of our regular features. Monkey news.
Do the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
What we're doing here is just giving you a bit of monkey news that's gone on, right? Where a monkey's been involved in it. Good little story in that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the one that went into space? The first sort of thing they ever sent up there before man did it and all that. You see, this is what annoys me with it really. Armstrong gets all the glory, but do you know who went up there before him?
A monkey.
Yeah. And what happened is they taught it what buttons to hit at the time it needed to hit them, and the way they did this was like give it bananas. It was like hit the red button, and it hit the red button, they'd give it a banana.
Right.
And they go, right, reverse is the green one, hit the green one. And then they do that and go, there's a banana. And then they go, right, hit reverse, and it go and get a banana.
Right.
Hit the red, so it was taking commands on like headphones.
Right, but how were they
Is
giving it
that
the
how
banana?
you learn to do radio?
How were they giving it the banana?
What do you mean? No,
Well-
this is before it went. You wouldn't just go and put a monkey in it and go, there you go, get on with it. They'd sort of put him in one of them capsules that you get,
Yeah.
and they were on headphones.
I don't believe this happened.
Well, I'm telling you the story now. So the monkey
I don't
sat...
think they trained it to do anything. I think they sent it up there and he put electrodes coming out of it to see what
It wasn't any of that. They did a thing like they do, like they can with animals. If you give something,
It's hard
like
to
a
know.
treat, you can teach it how to do it. It's just like a dog, isn't it?
It's called Pavlovian conditioning. However, that was to see if it would salivate or go over to a particular corner, not if it could control a spacecraft.
Next one up. As far as the monkey's not sat there going, oh, I'm a bit under pressure here, it's a rocket. All that's knowing is, I'm getting a banana if I hit that button. That's all the monkey's thinking about. Right?
They wouldn't put billions of
whatever.
space
But
dollars.
how can they be sure that it's going to press the button at the right moment?
Because it's got headphones on. It's not like willy-nilly. It's not just like pop it in there and
Willy-nilly,
see.
who's
But
that?
what's to stop it from just hitting it any old time? Because it's a monkey and it's not a human.
Because he's trained now. But
It's
anyway,
trained.
so
It's fully
listen.
trained. Yeah, go
So
on.
what happened is, anyway,
Oh, this is absolute rubbish.
they pop the monkey in there.
Yeah.
He's got his headphones on. They go in, right, hit the green one. And I think there's something there that a little banana comes out to keep the same.
No, you're making this up.
I'm not, it's the same.
There's no way that they made a
so
spacecraft
they can-
that had a banana dispenser.
Right,
There's
so-
no way in this world that they made a spacecraft that could go into outer space, right?
So what- so
manned
you're-
by a monkey with a banana dispenser.
So you're saying that it's easy to send something up to space, but you don't believe there's a little banana machine?
Right, okay,
So it comes to the launch day, monkeys sat in there, everyone's ready, bananas are stocked up and all the rest of it. They go, right, hit the green button. Right, and the rocket goes off and what have you.
No, they would not make the monkey launch the rocket. Carl, you are living in a cartoon world.
So the rocket goes off. Right?
This is absolute bollocks.
It's all going well.
I don't know
It's
what you're
all-
going to... It's not going well.
it's going
There's
well.
no way a monkey launched a rocket. There is no way a monkey launched a rocket,
So
you
it's all
idiot.
going on. So they go and hit the left button and it goes a little bit left.
Well done, spacecraft command. This is Houston. Hit the left button. Oh, brilliant. This is what happened in Apollo 13. Hit the left button.
So it
You are...
goes left. Yeah, it goes left.
So it goes left and it's going well.
Left! It goes left!
Yeah.
No, the moon. You're going right.
It goes for the moon. Everything's going well.
Right.
They get up there.
And everything's
it does
going
whatever
well.
it does. Hit reverse. It comes back. Right. So then.
You are, honestly, you are brain dead.
So it's
you are
long-
one of the most stupid people. That I would rather have the monkey drive me
listen.
home than you.
So the thing is, so it lands back.
Yeah.
It does a good job and everything. It gets out. And this
It's
is
sick of bananas.
This is where it turned a bit sad because after it done that mission, right? Because it happened and it was all safe and everything. The next one would have been to send man.
Right.
So the monkey enjoyed it and it was like, well, I want to do it again, right? But they were like...
So how did they know that? How did they know?
Just the way it looked and what have you. It was like...
Just the way it looked! You are a maniac.
So the thing is, though, right? So after it had done that, it was on such a high, right?
Yeah.
It could never get that high again.
There was
nothing that it could do.
Went on tour, did it?
It sort of ended up killing itself. Because it could never get that buzz that it got.
Right, that was absolute bollocks. None of that is true, except they sent a monkey into space, and I'll check that. Absolute drivel.
So, in your mind, it committed suicide. It went on a crazy bender, drinking drugs and women. And
like
then,
it does happen. You hear about it.
was found in a motel room.
You hear about it? Oh my god!
Found at the end of his rope.
Ooh, I want some coffee.
No,
I met Derek Akora the other week.
Oh yeah.
This like Ricky is way more brutal to him with somebody else there with him, which that's normal. Like in a friend group, you're just hanging out, just y'all two.
Yeah.
They'll say some stupid stuff. You'll bust each other's chops. But when you get 3 people together, it's like those. Oh man, we will gang up on you so hard. We're way more brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I met Derek Akora the other week.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Now, who's he? Which one's he?
Is
he a medium? He can contact the dead, is that right?
He just chats to him and that, passes messages on.
Nice of him.
So I said, tell us something a bit weird and that. So he said, what do you want to know? I said, just something weird. So he goes, all right then. He said, here's one for you, right? And he said, there's this pub out in the country. And he said, there's this mug. Do you know those old mugs that they have where they used to like leave their own cup knocking
like
about, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
The tankard thing.
Yeah.
So there was one of them mugs in there, right? And everybody...
Tankard, let's use a tankard if we've established that word.
Tankard, yeah.
Because you're the only mug in this story.
Right.
Believe in it all.
High five. Great.
So this tankard's knocking about, right? And everyone who's running the pub keeps going, I wish they'd stop leaving this tankard about, right? And they pick it up.
It must be a pain. Having a tiny, small tankard in a pub, that must be a real grind.
So every time they sort of picked it up and went, we'll have to wash that, and they popped it on a different sideboard. Next thing you know, that person who's touched it died, right?
Sure.
So
They must have been getting through bar staff.
So they kept getting a new staff and that. And they were like, what's the connection here? Right?
What's the connection here?
Oh, God.
So they get a vicar in.
Of course they do.
And they go, look, there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. This tankard, every time someone touches it, they die. So he said, leave it with me. He gets his special water out and what have you. He comes round, does a little prayer, sprinkles it. He goes, right, not a problem, don't worry about it. He picks it up, chucks it in the bin. Guess what?
What?
Dies in a crash on the way home. Because he picked it up.
You're lying.
But Carl, you're telling me this like it's fact, and I'm meant to go, that's amazing.
Derek Akora, he told me.
Carl, I have no opinion of that story, other than I'm pretty sure there was absolutely no connection between touching the tankard and him dying. That's all I'm sure of.
It's not just him, though, is it?
I'm not going to even contest the chain of events. All I'm saying is there is no connection. There is no connection possible because I believe in logic and the laws of the universe.
Yeah, but what I mean, you never pick up a vibe of... Like, I've got a mate, right, who he's living in this big stately home, right, and he's living in there now. He pays £100 a month. There's about 80 rooms.
Gee.
And it's this big stately house and what have you. And I went down there. He said, oh, come down and have a look, right? And from outside, you go, oh, this is brilliant. It's like something out of... You know, like the Man of Born or something. You go, this is impressive. But then when you get in, it's like it's a wreck. And we go in, and all the floors are like a wreck and rotten and stuff. And I looked at the wall, and there was like a little piece of paper stuck on the wall, right? And I said, what's this here? So I wandered over, right? Got right up close to it, and somebody had wrote it.
Somebody had wrote it?
Oh.
Somebody wrote it.
Right, go on, sorry.
So there's a little sign there, right? And I go up to it, and it says flies, right, with an arrow. Flies, like flies this way, right? I think that's a bit weird. So I follow the arrow, right, which goes to this corner where there's a shelf, about 3,000 dead flies on it.
Oh, my God.
Condom stuck on the top.
Oh, what?
That's weird, isn't it?
That is weird.
That is weird. Right? So I'm looking at that, and there's loads of stuff on the floor and that bits of paper. Picked up this bit of paper, right? And it had, like in biro and that, it looked really old, like it'd been there years. And it had something like, need nappies, dummy, right? Blankets, blah, blah, all this, like, all stuff for, like... And I turned it over, right, and it said, none of this now needed, baby dead.
Right.
Now, that's weird, isn't it? Now, that's what I'm talking about when you get a bad vibe. You go, that's who's been in here.
It's bad vibe. It's just based on the fact that...
Your mate's in charge.
Yeah, that's terrifying. I mean, yeah, so it's like saying, are we scared of the dark? Yes, I understand why people are scared of the dark. I'm a little bit scared of the dark. You're walking along...
Because you don't know what's in it.
Yeah, you don't know what's in the darkness. That's why people get nervous. It doesn't mean you have to make the leap then that you've got some paranormal sense. Oh, my God, I'm Karl Pilkington, and hang on, just like Derek Acora, I have sensed something strange and evil in this room. Wait a minute, there's some flies in a condom. I was right all along.
That is weird.
Flies in a Johnny equals badness.
the flies in the condom was weird.
It's weird. I don't know.
But the note.
Yeah.
I just think of his face when he saw that, reading it by torchlight. You must have been terrified.
It's a bit odd, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm so speechless from this show. I don't understand it, but I like it.
The only thing that I wish was different was that we got more of their actual faces. Like it started out with them walking into the studio, and it looks like all of the episodes are animated like this.
Yep.
So that's the only thing that I wish. I do like it when they're telling a story and it animates the story. I just wish it would switch between.
Yeah.
But hey, that was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Either way, that was enjoyable either way. Oh my god!
What an interesting concept, because it's got the whole podcast. That's such a big thing. When this first started, podcasts were everywhere. Now they're literally everybody has a podcast.
Everybody.
But
we're starting one up next week. No, I'm just kidding.
What a cool concept, though, to do something a little bit different than what everybody else was doing. So I could see why they kind of switched over. And your ability to... Ricky looks like a Flintstones character. That's so funny. Why does Steven look like himself and Ricky looks like a Flintstones character?
Right?
That's hilarious. This should have been called the Karl Pilkington Show.
Dude. Yeah, this is going to be a fun rabbit hole to go down. There were some people on the first Ricky Gervais, Karl Pilkington reaction that commented like, none of this is funny. I'm like, you're crazy. This is hilarious. These two are together, and now Steve mixed in the bunch.
Yeah,
He's
I do like it.
as well.
I don't like it that they gang up on poor Karl, but I think that's what makes the show is this them going back and forth.
It's more brutal.
Has that,
more brutal on Karl this time for sure.
It is.
So
maybe it'll even out as the episodes go on. Hopefully it does, where it's not just so much at him, but. You know, it wasn't bad.
Some of the stuff he says is so outlandish.
It's so random. You go into the story, and I do enjoy the fact that when they do tell stories, you don't know where it's going. You have no idea where it's headed, and then it's like gets to the end of the story, and you're like, I didn't know where you were connecting what you were talking about first to the story, and then he brings it back, and I'm like, oh, okay, it connects. Okay,
he brings it back. Yeah, that's what he does. He's like, so this and that and this,
Some
and then he gets to the end and you're like,
about flies
you just wasted
on a mantle,
all of my time.
and a condom on top, and he's just like, it was just a weird vibe. I could get that other sense.
That's weird, isn't it?
That sixth sense, the other sense that I didn't know I had.
Oh my gosh, that was great, y'all. That was great. Hopefully you enjoyed our first reaction to the Ricky Gervais Show. Not sure what to think so far, really. We'll have to get a few episodes in.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, friends.
Peace.
I'm not scared of your love.